Behind the sunshine, more than 275,000 people are projected to leave Florida in 2025, pushed out by skyrocketing insurance premiums up to $12,000 a year, plummeting sale prices, and mortgage payments that have doubled since 2021. Florida's population boom has slammed into reverse. New projections show more than 275,000 people will leave the state in 2025, the sharpest exodus since the 2008 crash. Miami-Dade alone is set to lose over 67,000 residents, while Broward and Palm Beach together are on track to lose more than 33,000. Four forces are driving the unraveling of South Florida's housing market, and together they're rewriting the rules for buyers, sellers, and investors alike. First, the insurance catastrophe. 6 major carriers went under in 2022, leaving hundreds of thousands of homeowners with nowhere to turn but the state-run Citizens Property Insurance Corporation. Premiums have exploded, averaging $3,023 statewide, with coastal policies often running $8,000 to $12,000 a year. In Miami-Dade, some bills now top $15,000. For many, insurance now costs as much as the mortgage itself, and annual increases of 18% are becoming the norm. Next, the affordability squeeze. Wages in South Florida haven't budged, but housing costs have rocketed out of reach. The state's affordability ranking has collapsed to 49th in the nation. Incomes in cities like Cape Coral and Palm Bay can't support monthly payments that routinely clear $2,500 once taxes and insurance are factored in. For first-time buyers, the math simply doesn't work. For retirees and fixed-income households, rising costs are forcing impossible choices: pay the bills or sell and leave. The third force is the investor exodus. Institutional buyers once made up over a quarter of all sales in Florida's hottest zip codes. Now they're down to less than 6%. In Palm Bay and Punta Gorda, rental yields have dropped below 4.5%, and average rents are falling by double digits. Short-term rental markets have cratered. Properties bought at the peak for Airbnb conversion are being unloaded at $100,000 losses just to escape mounting expenses and vanishing returns. As investors pull back, the safety net that once propped up prices is gone. Finally, the inventory flood. Active listings have jumped 34% year over year, with more than 177,000 homes now for sale, more than double the entire Northeast. In Cape Coral, over 12,000 homes are sitting unsold. New listings are down, but homes already on the market aren't moving. Sellers who bought at the top face a hard choice: cut prices, offer incentives, or watch their equity disappear. In cities from Naples to Northport, the glut is so severe that price cuts of $40,000 to $75,000 are standard. And some sellers are paying buyers' closing costs just to get a contract. Each of these forces alone would challenge any market. Combined, they're creating conditions where carrying costs outstrip incomes, investor demand has vanished, and the supply of homes far exceeds what buyers can absorb. These are the four horsemen of South Florida's market correction. In Hollywood, more than 11,000 properties are now classified as high risk, and while 2,115 parcels were removed from mandatory coverage, city officials still recommend keeping policies in place. Hollywood's participation in the National Flood Insurance Program's community rating system offers a 20% discount, but that only softens the blow for some. Dania Beach, with its smaller footprint, faces a disproportionate challenge. The city's 3,055 newly reclassified parcels add to the financial strain for homeowners already grappling with rising property insurance and storm vulnerability. Meanwhile, Tamarack, which achieved a Class 6 rating for a 20% premium discount, is not immune. Prior map changes and the threat of further revisions keep residents on edge, as 20 to 25% of flood claims statewide come from outside official hazard zones. Inventory is beginning to pile up in these suburbs. Homes that just last year drew multiple offers are now sitting unsold. Sales have dropped 23% year over year, and more than a third of listings have been reduced in price at least once. Associations are under pressure to complete milestone inspections and set aside reserves for major repairs, leading to sudden fee increases and special assessments ranging from $15,000 to $60,000 per unit. Insurance costs, already on the rise, are compounded by new flood zone designations along the bayfront. For many owners, the combined burden of insurance, reserves, and assessments now exceeds their mortgage payment. Investors are pulling out, and cash buyers are driving hard bargains, knowing that every building faces a ticking clock on compliance. Across these coastal markets, the old model of low fees and deferred maintenance is gone. Reserve mandates, special assessments, and insurance hikes have reset the economics of condo ownership. Units in buildings with clean bills of health and full reserves are holding value, but the rest are facing a slow-motion reckoning. For thousands of owners, the true cost of living by the water is only now coming into focus. Punta Gorda, once a magnet for buyers seeking affordable waterfront living, is now facing some of the sharpest declines in South Florida. Single-family home prices have dropped 7.3% year over year, while condos have fallen more than 11%, the steepest condo decline among all major Florida markets. Properties built in the 1980s and 1990s are sitting on the market for more than 120 days, with sellers slashing $40,000 to $60,000 just to get a single offer. Leverage is a double-edged sword. While price drops create entry points, negative cash flow can wipe out gains if the downturn drags on. In this market, due diligence is not optional. It is survival. Every buyer should build a checklist. Confirm all monthly costs, scrutinize reserves and assessments, and negotiate every possible concession. The smartest move in 2025 is not just finding the right price. It is making sure the numbers work long after the closing table. In 2024, South Florida saw a 34% surge in housing inventory and a projected 275,000 residents planning to leave the state by 2025, according to state and real estate records. Across 15 cities, documented price drops, insurance premiums rising from $8,000 to $12,000, and a collapse in investor activity have reshaped the market. The documentary revealed policy changes like FEMA, flood zone expansions, and new condo reserve laws as direct causes of cost spikes and sales declines. Despite clear data on outmigration and financial strain, the long-term effects on local communities and recovery timelines remain uncertain, as several legislative reforms are still under review. What is clear? South Florida's housing market has shifted from a pandemic boom to a sharp contraction, with ripple effects now visible in other Sunbelt states. For buyers and investors, the evidence points to the need for careful research and a close watch on ongoing market changes.